Now you can hear by the way it's cutting there, it's not cutting all the way round. It's a 12-inch shaft length, that is. First time I've used it, clocked it up, it's straighter than my longer shaft. It's the cutter's a snug fit on it. Anybody's guess. I've not used this cutter before, it could be that that's when it's been ground, it's slightly over. It's not far off. Anyway, so this will take 4 or 5 cuts to get through. Bring you back when it's chopping it off. 2/3 of the way through the first cut. So far so good. So that's a 200 thou depth of cut. And we're feeding flood coolant. Unfortunately, I've had to stop and nip and get another 4 pints of coolant. Because the reservoir for the coolant holds I think 12 pints. And when it's running, there must be about 8 pints on the machine and around pipes and whatever. So there weren't enough in the tank when we got a vacuum in the pipe. Well, we've kept the depth of cut still at 5mm, which is 200 thou. The RPM's around about 35 to 40. We've increased the feed rate now, so we're feeding 0.62 per rev. So that's going to be what, about 30 thou per rev. So the chip load's low, but it's not cutting on all the teeth. It's making a nice chip. I have to write it down so I know what I'm doing. On a penultimate pass, and you can get an idea of how tight things are. We've got about 1/4 inch, if that, space above that clamping bolt head. So I need to get myself some shorter studs. Still taking a 200 thou cut. Each pass is taking around 12 minutes. So another 20 minutes and we'll be done. Got the RPM up a little bit. We're working out about 55-60 RPM now. Depth of cut's reduced on this last cut because it's get the drop. We got some bubble wrap to catch the dropping piece so we don't get kink on the ways. That's the first cut done then. I didn't time how long it took, but I worked it out that roughly between when we started we were getting a 20-minute per pass. So I speeded up the feed, then speeded up the RPM, and we ended up with about an 8-minute pass on a 200 thou depth of cut. I'm sure it's more than possible to do it much faster, but I haven't got a vast array of cutters and it takes me ages to set the sharpening, grinding up. This one's still good, so we'll have a clean down and then swap the plate round and cut off this end. It's not the cleanest of cuts, but it's not bad. This is the second pass on the second cut. We're doing 325 thou depth of cut. The feed rate's the same at whatever it is, just short of 30 thou per rev. We're doing about 60 revs a minute. It's coping alright. want to catch one heavier than that. That's took 50 minutes. Been a bit longer by hand. So we're part way through marking up the adapter plate. We've got the 4 holes which will fit on the tie rods that go through the box for when it's in the horizontal position, its standard position. And we'll take those bolts out, which I've got to make. And then this plate is held on with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 M10 cap heads, which will be countersunk into this face and pick up into the T-nuts, which I've got to make, which will fit onto the carriage. There. I then need to cut these T-slots in the top of it to line up with the existing T-slots. Now I haven't got a T-slot cutter that big. I've just priced it up and it's a minimum of 40 quid, and that's if I order one from China. So I think what I'm going to be doing is dropping an end mill or slot mill down through the 3 positions to give me the necks after I've drilled the ends, and then a bit of hand filing to finish them off. I could, at a push, shape the actual T section. I could do the whole lot with a shaper, but by the time I've set it all up, braze myself a piece of high-speed steel onto a tool holder, I think I'll have finished filing it. So that's the plan. I've not yet marked on where this will go, because what I want to do is get that lot machined up and deburred, and then sit the box on top so that edge is flush with the top of the box, and then mark through these. So basically the box then, when it's sat on this, will be aligned to that edge and that edge. This one's got excess material on, which I'm going to leave on. There's only 5mm of it. I can always take it off at a later stage. So yeah, a lot of scratching about, and there's going to be an awful lot of drilling. Frustratingly, the threads on the tie rods, which I am going to make them, but I want to try and keep them to as near as original, and they were 5/8 Whitworth. Tapping drill for a 5/8 Whitworth is either 13.5mm or something like 17/32, neither of which I've got, so I've ordered a drill bit for that. I've just bust my bleeding 8mm tap, so I can't do these anyway. Yeah, we're not having a good session, so I've had to order some new taps, some couple of drill bits, and hopefully I've got a file. Not a lot of progress, but at least we've got a plan. So I'm using my VRO, which is visual recognition optimization positioning. If it looks right, it's near enough. One of the projects I was looking at doing was fitting a VFD onto the drill, just to give me more rapid speed changes, rather than continually having to swap over belts. It's only 2 belts in there, but it does get a bit tedious. Unfortunately, the VFD, which is all but set up, has now been allocated to the shaper. We've even got the motor for the drill sorted. Elliot's back on the waiting list. Well, that's the end of today's efforts. Another weekend done. So I've drilled out the corners of the T-slot positions. What I'm concerned about is when I put the cutter through between those lines, it might not actually meet those, which is going to be a pain in the ass. So I might end up just opening the slot at the top a bit wider. I haven't decided yet. I was going to try and drill them through, but drill wanders and creeps, and so I decided that was a bad plan. So I've got a few things on order from various suppliers. There's some stock to make my T-slots which fit on the back of this T-bolts, sorry, which are 4 inches long. So there's some stock for that. And I wanted to set up the horizontal mill and gang mill them, just because you don't see a lot of gang milling, and I've got a nice matched pair of cutters, so be a bit quicker than doing them on the shaper at a later date. So the plan is to do that, then take the horizontal positions apart, clamp the plate flat to the table, and put the milling cutter into the battery's about flat. Put the milling cutter in there, and then basically bring the table up through to cut the slots, 3 slots for the T-bolts. Anyway, we'll do that as soon as the bits turn up. Well, I've cocked that up. That's my rapid traverse. Our mates have to take 10 inches. If you look carefully, you can just about see it every time a tooth takes a bite, it's pushing the table back against the feed nut. It's feeding 40 thou per rev, and it's I don't know, about 12 teeth. The oil-based coolant wants, the water-based miscible oil coolant wants changing as well, so it's got a bit of a whiff to it now. That's a 60 thou depth of cut. Feed rate's 40 thou per rev. It's I think it's not far off a 3-inch diameter cutter. I think it's a little bit under 2 3/4, something like that. We're actually making up T-nuts, strips of. So I thought, instead of doing them on the shaper or on the vertical mill, I thought I'd set up a gang mill. So there's not a lot of that done on YouTube, and it's not something I've done off. Well, I think I've done it once. But the thing with gang milling is you've got to have a pair of cutters that are the same diameter, if you know, for a T-slot, and you've got to have a spacer which is the width apart that you want the cuts to go, and you've got to have a sharp cutter, and then you've got to make sure you put it on the right way round. And your key has got to go through everything like that. I've not used these cutters before, so this could prove interesting. I only do the nut on the end, which is just out of shot, and still just out of shot. I only do that up finger tight until I've got the outside support on, otherwise if you lean on the spanner you bend the shaft. Anyway, put the outside support on. Which is a snug fit on the end of the shaft, and that's what actually stops it. The hole in the bearing of the this outside support is actually tapered, only by a very small amount. As usually happens, I managed to stop the shaft in a position that I can't get the bloody spanner on to tighten it on. There we go. Couple of sharp blows. What's that done? Now, I don't know whether you can see the edges on that cutter, but it's obviously run into something and gone crunch. Got a row of damage there, but for a set of T-nuts I don't think it's going to be a problem. That is, well, I am going to be setting the feed at a lower speed, because I don't want to have to take it in 2 bites. I want to try and do it all in one hit. And I'm not going to be adjusting the height of the table. So we're going to want the slowest feed, I think, which is 4th hour per rev. So setting it up wise, I'll be making it up as I go along. First off is I want to touch off underneath the cutter. Now with a bit of luck, my spacing should mean that my width either side of that line is already set, which is 650 thou. This is when you find out your cutters aren't the same bloody diameter. Or you mark the wrong end of the part so you can't see it. That looks pretty damn adjacent. Now because the cutters are running on a helix angle, I can touch with this one, but that one's at a different position. It'll be touching out here somewhere. So I'm probably going to just jog the thing round and then back the work out 0, and then I've got to drop nearest damn it ½ inch. Looks a bit high. So we'll put the mill on, then put the inverter on, set my light back up again. Sounds like it's touching. Ooh, a shiny patch. Can you see the shiny patch? Oop, I just banged my head on the camera stand. And we're touching either side of the line, so yeah. So we zero the dial on the knee. I think I'm going to do that in 2 cuts. So I've got 13, I think it's 13.5 mil. Let's check. Let's bring it up 7. It's 2.5, 5. That's 7.5. Walk it off. That's 0.24 of a mil, which is 20% of 40, so that's 10 thou. Must have got the other one wrong. So that's 10 thou per rev. Give it a bit more RPM. Not looking bad. Probably up the speed a bit. Anyway, I'll bring you back when we've got this one done. engage at high speed return and bring it back. Good finish, very good finish in fact. I'm even surprised myself. Nice and shiny on the faces. So we've got 6mm up. That cut was 7.5mm. You can do the conversion if you want. Now one of the things, there's a book written by, or put out by Cincinnati, and it's called A Treatise on Milling Machines. And it's, majority of it's about horizontal mills. It's written turn of the last century, so 1920 or 30 or something like that. Before vertical milling stations were de rigueur. And it talks about the flood coolant, and I forget how many gallons a minute is, but it's something in the region of 140 gallons a minute of flood coolant to flush the chips out so you're not recutting them. Needless to say, I haven't gone anywhere near that, but they're talking about machines which were 15, 20, 25 horsepower, monster things. Something I'd love to actually see running, but never see one doing the jobs they were originally set out for doing. Right, so give this another pass and away we go again. I need a bigger drain on that end. Might have to duplicate it and put another drain this side. Bring you back in a minute. Just looking at the finish on it, and it's shit basically on this side, but the other side is smooth, smooth, smooth. So have a look on these other two I've run through. Good finish, crappy finish, which I think is because I'm running that cutter same alignment as that, and I'm wondering whether that should actually be reversed so that cutting face is here. So I've got one more to do. I'm going to swap that cutter around and see if it makes a difference. bad finish. Yeah. So it's not a bad finish, I don't think. That. There's evidently some backlash in my feed screw, because you can see the table as it's being fed this way in, and the tool's putting it that way. It's along. So that's the last one. It's a 60 thou depth of cut, and we're feeding. I can't remember what the speed is. I've got about half a mil per rev. It's not that high a feed, but it won't take any more. It'll take a deeper depth. So these are cut into two pieces, one each side, top and bottom, and then I've made up another 2 strips to cut into shorter lengths for fitting along the top. All whilst I was waiting for my 13.5 diameter drill bit, which was advertised as new, and I don't think it's new, do you? Anyway, the guys refunded me my full payment and said keep it, so I can't really grumble. I've just got to grind a new cutting edge onto it, and then that will be used to that's drilled so I can tap it at 5/8 width with 4 stud marks, and that's where we're up to. That's where we've got to, and it's a bit slow on the progress. The T-slots, T-bolts are made. They need a bit of, that needs flushing off. That one's alright. I've only rough cut them through on a hacksaw. This side I've left proud for no other reason than it's a job less to do to machine it off. What I was bothered about was trying to get the top flush, and there's no discernible transition, so I'm happy with that. So the next job is to cut these T-slots through. I'm waiting on the cutter for that. And then using that top as the datum, sit the box, but take it all off, sit it flat, sit the workbox on, lining it up with that edge and the top, sit the disc in the middle, and then somehow come up with a way of marking it all out, so I can drill the 50 million blooming holes I've got to do. Anyway, it's getting there. So that's the adapter plate progressed.